Okay, it's time now for French Connections, our weekly look at the intricacies of French life with Florence Villeminot.
Hi, Tom.
Now, France is, of course, known around the world for its gastronomy and its love of food. This week we're going to focus on what's been called the Gourmet's Bible, that is, the Michelin Guide.
It's considered the standard bearer for haute cuisine. The Michelin or Michelin Red guide is an institution here in France, and it's actually the oldest hotel and restaurant guide in Europe. The first edition was published in 1900 by the French tire manufacturer Michelin. You can see the Michelin Man here, called Bibendum in French. Now, at the time, the essentially goal of the guide was to boost demand for cars and therefore tires, which would be good for Michelin, of course. And since then, though, it's really developed into something else. It's arguably the most prestigious restaurant guide in the world, and it even puts out other editions, not just for France, but for other countries and other big cities as well.
Yeah, it's a brand we all recognize, and it's got this team of inspectors that go around reviewing thousands of restaurants every single year.
That's right, and they rate restaurants according to several criteria. For instance, freshness of ingredients, cooking mastery, creativity, personality, the quality of service, price-quality ratio. And where it gets interesting is that the restaurants, of course, don't know when they're being reviewed by these inspectors who are completely anonymous. In fact, even their families don't know that they're inspectors for the Michelin Guide. They're kind of like the top secret gourmet spies, which is definitely a job I would like to do. But as you can imagine, it's very stressful for chefs.
They come in, eat incognito, pay the bill and leave. Sometimes we don't even realize they've come and gone.
The Michelin Guide stars are given according to merit and talent. There's no preferential treatment for older chefs or younger chefs that are just starting out.
So you just heard that word star. It's our word du jour, étoile, which is, of course, the reward that's given to the very best restaurants. And it's called une étoile, or also macaron, and it is the holy grail, really, of the cooking world.
Okay, so stars and a bit of secrecy surrounding the whole process. Tell us a little bit more about this star system. How does it work?
So 1 star goes to a very good restaurant in its category. 2 stars for excellent cooking, worth a detour, and then 3 stars, which is very rare, the top prize, exceptional cuisine, worth a special journey. Very few restaurants have this top prize. Now, let's take a look at 2020, for instance. The guide gave out 628 stars, 513 1-star restaurants, 86 2-star restaurants, and you can see it here, 29 3-starred restaurants. Now, the stakes are really high because getting a star means more media attention and more reservations. It represents about a 20 to 30% boost in business, and for many chefs, it's just a dream come true.
This is such a happy moment, the best day of my professional career. It's a hard job, you give it your all. And sometimes that can mean sacrificing everything, including your family life.
Any chef that tells you the stars don't matter is a liar.
Okay, so those stars clearly make a huge difference to chefs in a country which, of course, worships food. Now, the annual release of the Michelin Guide is a bit like the Oscars here in France. Every year, there's a lot of media excitement, a lot of debate, too, about who won, who lost, whether or not it was deserved.
And in recent years, there's actually been a lot of controversy over famous chefs or famous restaurants losing one of their stars, for instance, one of their 3 stars. That was the case of the late Paul Bocuse and his restaurant, or, of course, the very famous hat-wearing chef Marc Vera, in a case that's been known as Cheddargate. He actually went on to sue the Michelin Guide for taking away one of his 3 stars without any excuse. Now, some actually accused the guide of wanting to get rid of the old guard and create kind of a buzz and sell more guides, but others are a little bit more philosophical about it and say that French gastronomy is changing and chefs have to keep up.
These restaurants should be enshrined. There aren't tons of them. There are 2 or 3. We could give them a gold star and take them out of the arena so they can stop competing. Trends have changed. It's a new era. If you want to last, if you want things to stay stable, you need to know how to change.
Now, the pressure is so high that some chefs have actually gone so far as to hand in their stars, to get out of the competition completely. And this could actually have a negative impact on the Michelin Guide, because some say that it's starting to lose its status as the reference for foodies. It's facing growing competition from online guides, for instance, or even influencers online.
Yeah, there's lots of competition nowadays that there wasn't in 1900 when they launched that guide. And nowadays, Michelin also coming under fire a little bit for perhaps not nominating enough women chefs and giving them enough stars.
That's right. The highly competitive world of haute cuisine has often been accused of being a boys' club, but interestingly, chefs themselves are the first to admit that it's true. Just listen to Anne-Sophie Pic back in 2007. That's the year she became the first and only French woman to win the coveted 3 Michelin stars.
The world is less macho than before, but it's a hard job. Working in a kitchen is physically demanding. It requires a lot of sacrifices. It's complicated if a woman wants to have a family.
Now, one of the most decorated chefs in the world, Alain Ducasse, famously said, "You can live without Michelin stars, but life is much better with them." And indeed, like it or not, the Michelin Guide is a very handy tool for navigating the wonderful world of French gastronomy. It'll definitely put stars in your eyes and make you hungry.
Yeah, those pictures are not what I need to be looking at right now. I really could do with a couple of the things I've seen served up there. Thank you so much for today's edition of French Connections. Florence Vimino, thank you so much. In the meantime, you can always keep in touch with Flo. Her Twitter handle is @FloVimino. You can also check out our website, france24.com.